Together. We're here with Nikoheart,
Hi.
Cold for One, and Psychohypnotic, and they are presenting us Alien Isolation. So, guys, I hope you're ready and have fun with the run.
Thank you so much, Weber. Hey everybody, welcome in. My name is Nikoheart. I'm a UK variety streamer and speedrunner for Alien Isolation. We're running any percent CC only today. CC stands for Crouch Clipping. We're joined by Psychohypnotic and Cold 401. Would you guys like to talk about yourselves?
Hey guys, I'm Psychohypnotic from Switzerland and I'm a speedrunner for this game since the inception in late 2014. I was heavily involved in the glitch finding process in the early days and currently holding the world record for the no major glitches category on Nightmare, which is 2 hours, 43 minutes and 8 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, my name's Cold 401. I'm from the UK. I've been running this game since October 2019 and I currently hold the world record for this category with 22 minutes and 54 seconds.
So my personal best for any percent CC is 23 minutes and 15, so I'm currently third in the category. But let's go over some pre-requirements for this run. Oh, I should probably put the game audio on, shouldn't I? I almost forgot about that. So what we have to do first off is we have to change the input configuration file of the keybinds for the both up and down scroll motion of the mouse wheel to crouch, and then when we scroll it over a successive period of time, then we'll be able to crouch clip through doors basically. But we also have to set the frame rate to 140 to 175 frames per second, and that will help us to effectively crouch clip through doors a little bit more easier. We also run this game in Italian. For a full run, it is 30 seconds faster overall of a language pack. French is technically faster by 0.5, but French is preferred. So, what we're also going to be doing is running this on Novice. It's the easiest category because better loot RNG, easier AI on the Xenomorphs, and we also set all the graphical engine stuff to the lowest and to the brightest. So, after I calm down my nerves... So here we go, Novice. Press yes. We're going to be skipping 2 cutscenes. Then you'll see a little button wheel on the right. When that wheel goes away, the time will start. I will call for time as well to start. So here we go, everybody. Right. So 1 cutscene, 2 cutscene, and time starts now. So the basis of the story, everybody, is that we are going to be going to find the black box of our mother's spaceship. So we are Amanda Ripley, Ellen Ripley's daughter from the movies. And we are now waking out of hypersleep. The reason that we're waking out of hypersleep is that we're on a mission with the Weyland-Yutani crew to go and retrieve this black box. But before we do all of that, the first mission of this game, everyone. Can you believe it? We gotta get dressed. You can't progress in this game if you don't get dressed. Gamers, pay attention. So we now have got dressed. That's a good start to the run. But now we're going to be starting to skip some dialogues. So what we must do is we must hit the plane where the dialogue is triggered to. And then once it's started, we got to navigate out of the radius of where the dialogue is held. And then it will skip the game. I mean, not the game, the dialogue, sorry. Here we go. So it's just over that little bit there. Ah, Ripley. And there we go. There we go. So that's that dialogue from Samuels. Now we're going to go see Taylor, do the same exact thing. It's the plane for the dialogue is just in the middle of this bit on the floor. So here we go. Taylor, buongiorno. Oh, by the way, I don't speak Italian. It's just this game that's the little phrases that I know. So we're going to be talking to Samuels again, but we have to wait for him to say a whole bit of dialogue. And then when we start talking, then we can go. Otherwise, they won't actually give us the chance to speak. Here we go.
Certo. Taylor è sveglia? Non è abituata ai lunghi viaggi. L'ipersonno potrebbe averla turbata.
Nolla vista. Again, I don't know Italian. So yeah, so that's pretty much the main dialogues that we have to skip. What we're going to be doing now is going to loot a cabinet just for the sake of looting, but we're also going to be going back through this hallway, and we're going to confuse the game to thinking that we're lost. And by doing that, Samuels will actually advance a little bit more quicker to the briefing room, which we will be briefed by Verlaine into going over to Sevastopol via spacewalk. And in the cutscene, which we are going to be skipping, basically the EVA line between us is going to get cut by asteroids, and we're going to go spiraling around out of control and directly into Sevastopol's airlock, and then we're going to try to find the black box, but we're not actually. By the way, hold the door, Hodor, for Samuels. Because if sometimes, he will just walk straight into the door that's closed. Yikes. Yikes. So now we're just getting briefed. We have to look at these documents right here. When the little dialogue for to actually click on it, you press E on it, and then as soon as the little 2 dialogues at the top goes away, you can hold enter, and then you are going into mission 2. This is all mission 1, guys. Breathing, everyone. Breathing. All right, here we go. So you'll get like a bit of an indication when the dialogue to press E is happening. So it's about here. E. Hold enter. Skip a cutscene. There we go. Now I'm going to take some water quickly. Okay. So what we're now going to be doing is taking off our spacesuit. And when it goes into the black opacity, we can actually still move our mouse and keyboard. So we're going to be basically turning our mouse a little bit to the left and then going straight forwards by holding shift and up. Easy peasy. So here we go. Changing clothes. So we actually put on clothes. Now we're taking off clothes. Like, I don't know anymore. All right, so now I'm going to turn the mouse a little bit to the left, and then we're going to go straight towards the door. Sometimes if you don't throw your mouse over to the left too well, then you can run into boxes, basically. We're also going to crouch here early. That will remove the dialogue and tutorial for learning how to crouch in a video game. So we get to remove that dialogue so that we can get a more smoother, effective crouch into the baggage scanner reclaim, basically. We're also going to be needing 3 flares throughout this run. They're important and beneficial for the run. But first off, we're going to be taking some scripted fall damage just here. I'm going to turn my headphones up a tiny bit. 1 second. There we go. All right. So there's a flare just in front of you. So as you're running through, you would click E a few times on this flare and you'll pick it up. So then you just crouch a little bit early as you go through here. Now, as I said, if you do find a flare, before you get to the air hockey table, pick that up, and then if it's on a PB world record run, for example, you don't have to pick up the flare on the air hockey table, but we're going to pick it up for marathon safety's sake anyway, so let's have a look, see if we can find anything. No. Alright, we're going to be coming up to our very first crouch clip, so Cold, please take away and describe what crouch clip is.
Yeah, so crouch clipping is essentially crouching quickly through doors while sprinting into them using the crouch function bound to the mouse wheel. So all doors have their own soft spot, which allows a runner to get through the doors faster and more efficiently. Usually you'll want to start more of the harder doors crouched first, because as you sprint from the crouch position, it'll actually boost you into the door, which will help force you straight through it.
With these doors, you can just do one big swipe up on the mouse wheel and glide through it like butter. And like I said, we're going to pick up this flare here. And then we're going to be doing another crouch clip, which will actually take us out of bounds. When we go out of bounds, we have to navigate around some invisible planes, some invisible walls, and then holding the peak key as we go into a cutscene. Otherwise, we will take some technical death as we fall down. And when you technically die before the cutscene triggers, you'll have your mouse sensitivity and camera position locked. So you'd have to throw a flare in order to unlock it. But if you don't actually fall into a cutscene but you don't take damage, just turn your mouse around and walk into that area. So for the meantime, if there are any donations or any plugs, please feel free.
Oh yes, we have, and we just heard Cold for One commentating. Well, he's also donating.
Woo!
And he donated $10 with for a message. Good luck on the ride, Nick. Do us all proud, buddy. I will be right here judging your every move. Oh, you are. Just remember, non-scappy.
Non-scappy.
I said that right.
Oh yeah.
Non-scappy.
And also $5 from Valar SR saying, sadly don't have much to give, but I managed to beat up some Yaku. I found $5 lying around. So nothing to worry about. For an amazing week of speedruns and many more to come. Shoutouts to the donation readers, tech crew, runners, and often forgotten chat mods, which keep the chat a nice and comfy place. Thank you very, very much for those generous donations. Very much appreciated, and we will continue to present you with amazing runs. So back to you, Nick.
Thank you guys for the donations. Thank you to Cold in the in the voice call for the donation as well. Non-scappy. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing, Weber, you may want to have your mic open again in a second because you've got some more plugs to do. All we're going to be doing here for a second is calling Tram 1, looting a body to see if there's any beneficial loot, and throwing open a door with a wrench that we don't actually have. So, Weber, please go ahead.
Of course. So you can not just donate to support us, but you could also, for example, subscribe. And I mentioned it a lot of times, but your subscription gets doubled because we have a generous sponsor called HyperX. They provide us with prices and they will match the first 800 subs on this channel, so your subscription counts double. And if you need, Nick, you have a nice hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but if you want some nice attire, you can go to speedrunstore.com and buy some ESA merch. Like really nice shirts. The Winter 20 supporter shirt is amazing. And also a nice comfy hoodie. So consider buying one if you need one while staying safe at home. We have you covered. And you mentioned it in the beginning. The first thing you do to start a speedrun is dress.
There we go, yeah. Right, so nice segue, by the way, Weber. We're going to be doing a box clip now with the crouch clipping, so Cold is going to explain this whole section. Here we go, Cold, take it away.
Okay, so this clip specifically is a little weird because it has two invisible barriers. One at the start near some boxes, and then there's a shutter door itself. So with the barrier at the box, it's extremely hard, near impossible to clip through it with the normal crouch clipping technique. So what we need to do is find a way to scroll for a longer period of time. So for users with an infinite mouse scroll, they can just use that.
That's what I'm using.
Since personally I didn't have that at the time, I decided that I would just turn my mouse upside down and scroll the wheel across my desk like a toy car. This gave you the longer scroll time that you need to actually get through this tough barrier.
So here we go, we're just doing that now. So nice first box clip. And there we go, straight through. Easy peasy, like butter. Like a glove. We're going to be doing another one here as well. Just a quick mouse swipe up here on the scroll wheel and straight through again. When you have the live splits, auto splitter that has been made by Cliffs, because we're technically going backwards in missions, you would actually need to press 1 on the live splits, otherwise it won't recognize that you've changed the mission. So I'm going to do that as well. Because yes, I am actually counting this as well. We're technically on tie of a PB. We're now going to be introducing Psycho running. So if Psycho could go ahead, we're going to go through one door and picking up a shotgun before we do anything. Keybinds! I keep on forgetting keybinds. Okay. Psycho, go ahead.
So as you may know, this game heavily builds on noise emission. This means enemies can trace your movement based on noise you emit. So the game basically wants you to punish for running and slow you down. In early 2015, though, I found a glitch that I called psycho running, or also some people call it silent running, which basically allows you to run at normal running speed but completely silent to the enemies. It's actually pretty easy to do when you run diagonally, like Nick just did, with W and D and Shift. The player makes an audible step every half a second. So to suppress that step, you just have to tap crouch every half a second or even faster, and that way you run completely silent. This also works on consoles, but it's way harder to do, and it's also a bit slower than on the PC.
Right, so technically now we're in mission 3, but the door we're going to go through will take us into mission 2, and then we're going to skip straight to mission 18 with the elevator skip. Psycho and Cold will be taken over from here because mission 18 does require a lot of focus. So please guys, go ahead.
Alright, so with this elevator door that we're approaching now, there's actually a fairly new strat we'll be using here involving a flare. This was found by another speedrunner called iBobTouch, so shout outs to him. But in the past, we had to brute force it with the mouse wheel, but now all we have to do is get in between the two doors and put a flare on the floor, and this will somehow just push us straight through the doors, no problem. Though sometimes there is a chance that you're able to run straight through the doors with the flare in hand. We haven't quite figured out whether this is random or if there's a specific spot you have to run through for this to happen. But going from the door straight into mission 18, in that part of the mission, we'll have to have a hacker tool. But we never actually picked up a hacker tool during the game since we skipped all the way from 3 all the way to 18. So we'll have to find another way to actually activate these terminals. So there is a specific distance that you can stand from the terminals that will allow you to activate the prompt to use it. So we end up just pulling a hacker tool out of thin air. This allows us to skip this part of the mission where we would have to go under some vents to flip a lever that would usually activate these terminals for us.
So the reason Nick is using a flare here is to distract the second alien later in this mission when he goes downstairs. The second alien actually spawns at a specific spot and goes to check out the flare, which allows him to silently pass that alien without it seeing him. To avoid that android on the floor here, you just have to constantly face your camera towards him at a certain range. If he would turn his camera his back actually onto him, he would immediately grab him, which would obviously lose him time. Since Nick needs to be completely silent in this bit, I want to elaborate a little bit more on the main drawback of psycho running. While psycho running is relatively easy to execute, you have to be very careful on sharp left turns, since the player will make an audible step while sharp right turns are actually fine. There are various techniques like stopping and turning, doing wide arcs, doing swift 270 degrees turns, or spam the crouch key to avoid enemies hearing your steps. This is especially tricky here going downstairs since he has to do left turns, where the alien actually could trace your steps and on the left turns and get you before you actually reach the exit.
So we also took a marathon safety save there. If you're on a PB run, you don't have to save there, but you know, it all works out well. So for the meantime, up until we gain control, we'll take some donations.
Oh, yes, and we have quite a few.
Oh,
we
dear.
have $25 from Catherine saying, "Good luck, Nick. You got this."
Thank you,
And I know
Catherine.
have. $5 from Anonymous saying, "Yo.
Yo.
And another 25 from Void's Mind saying, "First time donator, long time viewer and fan of the great Manflash Nick. Thanks for doing this run, Nick, and thanks ESA for keeping us all entertained in these times, smaller than 3. And with this, we have 4.5k. Thank
Damn!
you very much. $4,500.
GG, guys. GG.
Affiliates.
Don't forget to
You
use
are
your Twitch
amazing.
Prime. Don't
Oh
forget to
my
use your
gosh.
Twitch Prime, guys. All right, so we'll be taking over from here.
Use everything. You have my heart. Big heart to everyone. Continue being awesome and continue with the awesome run, Nick.
Thank you so much, Weber. Thank you to Voids, Minds, and Katrin and Anonymous for the donations. Right, so now we have to kill 6 face huggers with 4 shotgun bullets. How is this possible, you may ask? By killing 2 at the same time. If you actually find a 5th shotgun bullet, luckily, then you will have to kill the last 2 huggers with 1 individual bullet, which would be very lovely if that ever happened. But what you got to do is make sure that they are both within your reticle. You'll get a good indication that you've killed 2 at the same time. So there we go, we killed 2. Now we're just going to wait before we go into this area here to kill this one down here. Boom, headshot. When we come up to this next face hugger here, just wait behind this little tube. It gives you a bit more of a good distance towards killing this alien, because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. Alien, I mean face hugger. Excuse me, I'm nervous. But now what we're going to be using is a flare to kind of take away the location of where the alien's going to drop. It's going to make it go in a different direction path, so we're going to just throw the flare down here. And that will remove the alien dropping down, and only the alien on the right will spawn. So we can just navigate straight through this alien right here. Here we go. No problem. Alien doesn't know where we are. No bitey on the bum bum. Alright, so we're going to go to this little section here is going to take us down. So we're going to hover just over to this area and crouch whilst holding forwards. And by doing that, it will actually put us on the opposite side of an invisible wall and bring us into a crouching position after the animation. And then we're going to go crouch clip into this ladder here. And we got to hold the peak key as we fall down because we don't want any damage taken. We can sometimes either spin around or just go straight over. So here we go. Don't go into this train. Wait for the train. And there we go. We have to hug onto the left side here because it will actually skip the animation of a train going over our heads. And we have to watch this cutscene here to get above this ladder. And we're going to be coming up to the last two face huggers now. Which we have to again kill with one bullet. But this is where the RNG can be not in our favor, because the timings of when the facehuggers come out can be like they're too far apart or something like that. So can we get some bless RNGs in a chat, please, that this will actually work out for us? Because come on. No, I thought that was a shotgun bullet. No. Okay, we have to kill it with one. Here we go. Bless RNG, guys. Nope. So when that happens and they're too far apart, we have to reset this load. And hopefully we don't get the long loads. We don't get the long loads, so perfect. Continue to bless RNG. Continue to bless RNG up until we get this. Better. I wasn't quite expecting that reaction from me, but I'm happy. Alright, so now we're going to be skipping this ladder by holding shift and forwards and pressing E once on this ladder. The properties of the elevator will just disappear and we'll fall straight through. And now we're coming up to pretty much near the end of the run. It's probably about 5 minutes from here, technically, so we're probably behind... well, we're probably ahead of our estimate, actually. So let's go up here. And what we need to now do is go through the fire and flames. Yes, I just made a Dragon Force reference. Yes, I did. Yeah, okay. But now what we have to do is put on our spacesuits so that we can navigate towards an area where we're going to be self-destructing Sebastopol. So, up until again to like the last destination, which will be quite obvious. Weber, do you have any donations or plugs?
Oh, we have a lot of donations, actually. We have $30 from Fingolian saying, Finland here, here's $30 so you can keep me entertained for a few more days. Well, thank you. We will keep you entertained. And $5 from Pressure saying, crowd chants, Nico, 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 no, Nico, 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 no. Nico love, Nico love, Nico love. Your emotes. Thank you very much. And $6.90 from Crystal saying Melon! And another $20 from I am Hutato saying Nico, I love you, good luck, hashtag best beard on Twitch. Well, I can confirm. Thank you very much for your generous donations. Back to you.
Thank you. We still got a bit of time up till when we need to get to the area. Do you have any other plugs that you want to do for the meantime? In fact, I'll go on an effort here. Guys, did you know that you could link your Amazon account to Twitch Prime? Go to www.twitchprime.com or directly by clicking on the sub button and looking down upon the window that comes in front of you. And then you can click on the Twitch Prime. But first you have to link your account first and then you'll see that. So if you haven't used your Twitch Prime, do it.
And don't forget, your Twitch Prime sub gets doubled because of HyperX. The first 800 subs get doubled. So you support us twice.
There is also some prizes to be won from HyperX. So if you donate, I think it's between $15 and $20, you can win a certain prize. So, guys, your donation goes towards some good prizes.
Yes, and those prizes range from RGB mouse pads to mice to really nice headsets.
There we
So
go.
it's either 15, 20, or $25. During this marathon, sprinkle them over, hit them in one big donation. It all counts. You are in the pot for the draw.
All right, so I think we'll take over from here. So all we're going to be doing now is taking the key cards from each side to be able to take open the lid. No, for it automatically to open. I was trying to say, excuse me. But as we open these key cards, we can just look in the direction and spam E a few times to get there. But we're now going to be doing a technique called double pin. To do double pin, what you must do is you must hover over one of the pins and then throw your mouse over to the other side and spam E. To do this means that you'll activate both of the pins and their animations to bring them both straight up. So can we get some more bless RNGs for double pins? We'll be saving 30 seconds if we get them both correctly. 1. And that is 15 seconds saved. That is 2. Another 15 seconds saved. So the next part is we're going to be greeted by a few xenomorphs, and then we're going to be doing what is known as the skill walk. Psycho will take over and explain to you guys what skill walk is.
Yes, sure. So there's a one last glitch in mission 19 that allows you to walk faster than normal with the spacesuit. This saves approximately 8.7 seconds. We call this the fast walk. It only happens on a load from mission 18 to 19, and there's a lot of theories on how to get it, but I think the harsh reality is that we don't know how it happens, because we've also seen it with casual players getting it. So that's, we also call it the skill walk, since we think it's a random glitch at this point.
So we are now being projected into Torrens. Sebastopol's just self-exploded. So you know what I mean. So now we're thrown back into Torrens, and we got the skill walk. Hooray! So we basically saved 10 seconds with it being skill walk because we're going fast. And now all we have to do is do a few designated buttons of input. Time will be coming up very, very shortly. As soon as the screen goes to black, I'll call time. I just like to spam keys on the keyboard for this section. So as soon as you hit if you hit the button, that will be when you take your hands off the keyboard to let Live Split do its thing. So time will be coming up. Time. Whew. That was a good run. That was actually 15 seconds over my PB. And what we do is we actually count the in-game time for the record. So for my run, I got a 23:31. So that was pretty good.
That was a great run.
That was a great run, actually.
That was actually really good. Well done, mate.
So just before we wrap up, I would like to say thank you guys for having me for ESA. This is the first time that we got Alien Isolation to ESA, so thank you guys for allowing Alien Isolation to happen. But if you guys would like to find out more about Alien Isolation, please head over to speedrun.com/AI to learn more about the resources, some tutorials, which even Cold and Psycho Hypnotic have made themselves. Feel free to message any of the runners. We're all very helpful people, and we want to bring more runners into the community. For example, I am the world record holder for the Switch port of Alien Isolation, because I'm the only one mad enough to do it. I actually did a No Major Glitches nightmare run on the Switch. Play it for yourselves and understand. That's the best way I can say it. But shout out to all of the excellent runners of Alien Isolation. Thank you guys for having me. Cold, Psycho, do you have any other plugs that you want to do?
No, it's fine. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your amazing support. It's been fantastic to actually finally get this game into a marathon. So happy about it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Thank you to Cold and Psycho for being on the couch as well. Big appreciate.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Nick, for being here, presenting this game. That run is actually very fun to watch. You have been amazing.
Thank you.
Psycho and Cold have been amazing. Chat is always, as always, amazing. And all the donors, everyone is amazing. So we're here at ESA Together, collecting for a good cause, to bring you even more speedrun goodness at home after these trying times, and especially during them, so you can stay safe and still be fast. I'm handing over to advertisement intermissions, and right after this, we will have Mass Effect 2 by Ori Was Taken. Any percent New Game Plus with the DLCs. So enjoy some good old Mass Effect 2. See you on the other side.
Enjoy the rest of the
Bye.
marathon, guys.
Bye bye.